In Islamabad, away from cameras and public statements, talks are underway that could reshape the Middle East. Not a symbolic meeting, not another temporary ceasefire, but a real attempt to end one of the longest economic wars of the modern era between United States and Iran. And if these talks succeed, the consequences will go far beyond diplomacy. They will hit oil markets, global banking, and the balance of power across the region. Hi, I'm Naksh Ghazi, and you are watching Suno News. For nearly 50 years, Iran has lived under one of the harshest sanctions regime in the world. Its assets were frozen, its banks were cut off, its oil was sold through middlemen, hidden tankers, and discounted backdoor deals. Iran did not collapse, but it was locked out of modern global economy. Now imagine that changes. After weeks of quiet diplomacy, Islamabad becomes the key mediator between Washington and Tehran, creating space for serious negotiations between two rivals that no longer trust direct contact. If a real agreement is reached, the first thing that unlocks is money. Between $50 billion and $100 billion of Iranian assets remain frozen or restricted across countries like Qatar, South Korea, China, Iraq, and Japan. This is not foreign aid. It is Iran's own oil revenue, earned but blocked by sanctions. Even partial access would immediately strengthen Iran's economy, erase inflation pressure, and stabilize its collapsing currency. Then comes oil. Right now, Iran exports around 1.5 million barrels per day, mostly through unofficial channels and heavily discounted sales, mainly to China. With sanctions lifted, Iran could move back to its pre-sanctions capacity of 4 million barrels per day. That could not happen overnight, but markets would react immediately. More Iranian oil means lower global prices. OPEC would face pressure, and Gulf producers, especially Saudi Arabia, would have to rethink strategy, because every extra Iranian barrel means someone else earns less. Then comes the biggest shift, banking. When the US left the 2015 nuclear deal, global companies had to choose: do business with Iran or keep access to the US financial system. Most chose Washington. Major firms left. Investments stopped. Iran was pushed further into isolation. A new deal changes that. Iran reconnects to SWIFT. Trade finance returns. International companies begin looking back at the 85 million person market, rich in oil, gas, and industrial potential. And suddenly, Iran is no longer surviving outside the system, it is re-entering it. This was never about nuclear weapons or missiles. It was about whether Iran would remain economically contained or return as a full regional power. Sanctions were not just punishment. They were a system designed to keep Iran financially limited and strategically weak. A successful deal in Islamabad would not just end the crisis, it would break the system. Iran would return with money, oil, and access to global finance. And the Middle East that wakes up after that would not be the same region as before.